Hello, my name is Nancy Antonucci, or in the tarot world, I'm kind of known as Nooch, which I really like. So I'm going to use my Morgan Greer. This is the second deck I ever had. I got this in State College, Pennsylvania as a gift shortly after I went to a very strange reading, first one ever in my life. And the tarot reader didn't actually use tarot cards. She had playing cards, but she had things written on the cards. Her name is Mary, and actually, hopefully, she's still alive in Altoona, Pennsylvania. She did this reading for me. She started reading, and she just stopped. She just stopped and said, "No, no, I need to teach you how to read because you will be a great reader." So that was like terrifying. A Catholic girl, it's like, okay, wait, what? I just want a reading. I don't need you to teach me. But right after that, I went to a birthday party and was gifted this deck. So it was like, yeah, synchronicity. Goddess giggles. That's the Latin for synchronicity. Goddess giggling. So I'm just going to pull one card and see what comes up for us. And I got the Fool. The Fool. This is... If you're being called to read tarot, or you've read tarot just for your friends or just for yourself, and that might feel like it might even go to a bigger dimension, know a couple things. Know, first of all, this isn't your first time at the rodeo with divination. Now, your other divination might have been entrails or stones or rocks, or perhaps even tarot at another time in a parallel life. But tarot calls people, the ones that stick, the ones that are going to really go deep into the language of tarot. I really feel that they're called. I think we're called to it. I feel like tarot is a huge muse and an incredible system, a language of imagery. So that's centuries and centuries of knowledge can be tied into a picture, whereas words really kind of freeze dry a moment or an idea. Pictures do not. They open up worlds. I really do believe each card is almost a portal of dimensions and different times and energies. So if you're being called to tarot, you've done it before, and you just need to remember. The other thing about it is it changes the way that you see the world, and it can change the way that you see the world, and hopefully makes you more compassionate, kinder, more understanding of people. I've gone to readers that, first of all, have very set, this is what this card means to me, and I'm just going to keep with this definition. And there's no leeway, there's no mystery. It is, nope, this is the way it is, and I'll give you the pattern. And frankly, some of those readings are spot on. They're spot on. I'm not going to judge that. But what was missing for me was any kind of interaction with the reader, or a sense of us entering mystery, or kind of being unattached to the outcome and enjoying the process, really witnessing somebody's spirit. When I still teach, but when I used to teach only, like, it was really the way I started as a reader, was teaching. I always said that tarot is the second most intimate thing you can do with somebody. I still believe that. It's a trust that there is some kind of mythic part of you, your spirit, that is free of any story or narrative or pattern. It's taking on whatever costume you decided to put on that day, or whatever belief system you decide to do a little jig to. And I think the longer you read tarot, the more it kind of opens those perceptions. As a reader, I mean, I have to enter every reading open-hearted, without preconceptions, even if it's a client. And I have a very strong part of my practice are clients I've worked with for 20 years or more. Now, I am definitely going to have some preconceptions or some ideas about how they roll, but when I go to the reading, you have to go to beginner's mind. You have to allow, for me anyhow, I have to allow mystery to come in there and just kind of give us something incredibly random or secret, because that's what they need at the time. So I can't lead thinking I know where the journey's going to end. I just know that I'm leading and trusting that love will guide us to where whatever this person needs to learn more about their mythic self, about that spirit self, that the free one, the authentic one that doesn't have to deal with neighbors, gravity, taxes, death, certain presidents. It doesn't, it's free from all that, and so I think we're just an odd hybrid, is spirit and human. It's an odd hybrid. One's so temporal and the other one is so not, so how do they dance together? That's kind of how I try to approach each reading, as what's the dance now, not what it was, not what I think it should be, but where is the spirit leading the human now? And how well can the human actually listen? Because spirit is the quietest voice within us. Thus, probably the need for meditation or I don't know, taking your dog for a walk, where you're listening and you're quiet and you're just bringing down your own story levels, maybe even to a place that's completely neutral, and opening up to what's possible in this moment and what's possible without restrictions. What else would I like to say about the Fool? The Fool. Sometimes I'll have clients really literally say, oh, I do feel foolish. And I'm thinking, oh, the Fool. Well, there's a long history with the archetype of the Fool, and some of it's a little, dark. But to me, the Fool is really someone following their heart. And that will look foolish to a lot of people. I mean, I'm 62. I have a life-sustaining income from my practice. I don't make so much money I can throw it in the wind. I have a very practical budget, but still, I'm happy. I'm happy with the life-sustaining income. I work with clients and students and organizations. I even have a couple businesses, and I help as a creative advocate just brainstorm and just really think outside the box. So it's not all about spirit and goddess and tarot. It's about creative brainstorming and envisioning and being a creator, performing. And still people will look at me as if either I'm hustling them or I'm really good at just reading body cues, like cold readings, or that I'm in some fantasy world, it's like they see me as a fool, and I just, for one thing, you're really not going to change anyone's mind about that. In fact, in the back of my head, I just kind of go, karmically, you might have been really screwed over by a tarot reader, so I understand that you're taking it out on me right now. that's how I rationalize it, so that I stay compassionate. Sometimes you have to fake it till you make it, folks. But I just walk on by. I'm not going to convert anybody into thinking that it is an act of love and an intimacy with someone that could literally, in that session with each other, and letting the images speak and kind of surface that mythic part of yourself, that can't really influence someone's life in a beautiful, loving way, that they could change, really change, not just talk about it, not just think about it, but have the courage to change. I mean, the Fool has courage. He's moving ahead. He's not going to stay put, and he's not asking for anyone else's approval to do it. So really, if you're going to be a professional reader, you will attract the people who both you and their spirits have already decided this could shift somehow, this will help. And you will not attract the people that, unless you need to, you're not going to attract people that really diss you or your art, unless there's a reason for that, unless there's some part of you that's still judging it. Yeah, then you are going to get that reflected over and over again. Okay, I have time for a little story here. So I was working at an arts festival at the University of Minnesota, and I was, they paid me first, so all I had to do was sit at a table and the students could come for free, so they got it through their student fee or whatever, and I was doing just these quick little readings for them, like 5 minutes long line. I looked around the table and I thought, I'm definitely going to be here for maybe 2 hours more than I thought, but that's okay. I'm just going to do it. And this young guy came up next to me, and he started railing on, this is the devil's work and the devil's picture book. And I just thought, wow, the devil doesn't have time to mess with me. He's got larger fish to fry, believe you me. I think he is frying them as we speak. But I'm in the middle of a reading, and this guy is starting to rant and rail loudly, and I just was tired at that point, and I just didn't want to get in the argument, and I didn't want to have to break the rhythm of everything to tell him, listen, I'm just doing my job, just girl's got to do what a girl's got to do, so yeah, just leave me alone. And but I couldn't. I was just tired at that time, and I just put my hand up. I just put my hand up, and simultaneously, I don't know, seriously, I don't know, but simultaneously he fell. I didn't touch him. I was that far away from him, but he just fell, and I think he just tripped. I don't know if the gesture scared him or what, but he went running off, and everyone listened to their readings with a lot more presence, and I just thought, okay, that was weird, but with the Fool, and with the idea that we are really spirits that are working with each other, all kinds of very strange things can happen. Sometimes just coincidence, but that one was a really nicely staged coincidence. Synchronicities, but keeping your heart open and following your path, because I think the path has been predetermined. So enjoy your road.